Hey family, how are you all doing today? I hope all is well. I've been out there dealing with that hot sun and whew, boy, it's something else out there, right? Yeah, thank God for the sun though. It could be real cold, and I don't like it when it's real cold. I don't like it when it's real hot. I don't like it when it's real cold. Maybe something we always got to be pleased. It's always got to be to our liking. But listen, I wanted to check in on you. And I want to let you know that tomorrow I'm going to start a new, I'm going to call it a series because usually once I start something, it turns into, a chain reaction. So I'm going to start a series on race matters. Race matters. And I'm probably going to title my first one Race Matter. Race matter. Not matters, but race matter. It's going to be a real good series. I'm telling you right now, it's a series designed to encourage people of color, that community of people in color, whether you African American, you Hispanic, if you are not Caucasian or you are not from an Asian region, then this is designed to encourage you. And it's designed to encourage you because those other two that I mentioned, those usually fall into the category of the privilege. But it's going to do what it's going to do for those is going to inform them. So ultimately, we all are going to be encouraged because what I hear from my white counterparts and my Asian counterparts is, what's wrong? And why are you guys so angry and so on and so forth. So I want to kind of uh, put some balm, as it were, from Gilead into that issue to kind of help mend and um, and satisfy these questions, these areas of concern. But that's going to be tomorrow, and it's going to be really good. I'm telling you now, this is going to be material that, I'm a unique guy, so I can almost tell you now, you probably have not heard it. All right. So, and I'm just not hearing it because God is sharing it with me. And as He shares it with me, I'm sharing it with you. Some of the stuff is from things that I've studied. And some of the other things are just things that is coming through revelation, and God is just speaking to me. But that's going to be on tomorrow. Today is, I want to close it out on the idea of salutation and greeting, whether it's greeting you or you're greeting it and it's the wrong thing and it's taking you to a place where God can't ultimately use you and people can't get healed, raised from the dead, delivered, set free, and so on and so forth. So I want to make sure that we understand that this is something that we need to do. And I was thinking to add to our list, some of us have issues with um, alcohol. Y'all know alcohol? Alcohol greets us. It greets us in the morning, in the afternoon, and at midnight for those that have alcohol issues. And I'm wondering how you handling that. We're on a 15 to 20-day challenge. And so if alcohol has been greeting you, or if you have been wanting to greet it, then I'm praying for you because we want to get past this. I mean, we just need we need to get past it, okay? Because God is up to something, and I got something I want to share with you. What about those with drugs? Drugs, whether it's a prescribed drug or it is a drug of choice because you have a taste bud for it. Uh, Somewhere along the line, the enemy got you caught up, and now you own this stuff. So whether you greet it or it's greeting you, what I'm saying is continue to join us in the challenge, and we're going to be praying one for another that God delivers you up out of this thing. I'm here to not only pray, to guide, but I want to inform, because a lot of times what we are faced with is the concerns of, why is my life the way it is? And so I deal with root causes, and some of the reason why God is not answering us or getting to us or making our situations more pleasant is because we are holding on to some of the enemy stuff. And as long as we hold on to it, then God can't come in and do what he wants to do. So we got the lying, the drugs. I mean, not the lying, but the alcohol, the drugs. But let's add lying to it. That was one that I had written down, because that's another one that a lot of us, that we are so attached to that one. It's endearing to us to just to tell lies. I had a guy that I used to work with, and I said, well, what you gonna do when you retire? He said, I'm gonna sit on the bank. He said, I'm gonna drink beer and tell lies. And he probably doing exactly what he said. This was 20 years ago, whatever, I don't remember now. But he said, I'm gonna sit on the bank and drink beer and tell lies. And so that is not Christian-like. So let's look at that, and let's not give the salutation to lies, beer, alcohol, drugs, all those substances, okay, that take us to a what we may call a happy place, or a coping place, because that's all it is, just a mask. It just covers you up. Okay, so enough of that. I want to talk about something as it relates to this, because I'm going to close this out. But we're still talking about social distancing. And the Lord spoke to me today, and he says, I want you to go to Joshua, the 3rd chapter. And I want to read this, because this is so powerful. This is so powerful. And it says, Joshua 3, chapter 3, verses 2, and I'll go through 2 through, 5 or 6. And it says, and it came to pass after 3 days that the officers went through the hosts, and they commanded the people, saying, when you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, when you see it, okay, and the priest, you see the ark of the covenant of the Lord your God, and the priests, the Levites bearing it, the men of God, then ye shall remove from your place. Move. Get to getting. Okay? When you start to see God, and you start to seeing the men of God getting with God, because something is getting ready, there's a moving and a stirring in the earth. He says, when you see this right here, he says, I want you to prepare yourself to go after it. You need to get with the program. And that's exactly where we are today. Okay, there's something that's going on, and I'm here to tell you, as a man of God, that God is moving, the ark is moving, and I will be a part of that Levite tribe or commission. And as I see God move, I'm getting with that, and I'm getting ready to do something. This is what I'm doing right now. He says, yet there shall be a space between you and it. You see, because a lot of times we think that we know it, but God didn't give it to you. God gave it to the man of God, okay, whoever that man of God is. And you may think that you have it, but you really don't have it. And so he says, and yet there should be a space between you and it, about 2,000 cubits by measure. He says, come not near unto it. Don't get close to it. What does that sound like? Come not near unto it. Does that sound like social distancing? He says, now God is getting ready to move, and God is going to speak to his prophets, to his preachers, his pastors, to the word bearers, the word bearers. He is going to speak to them, and he says, I want you, when you see that, because something's going to get in your spirit as well, but when you see that, you can identify with a spiritual eye. I want you to get ready to get with it. Okay? But he says here, he said, I want you to give it some space. He says there should be a space between you and it. Social distance yourself. About 2,000 cubits by measure. Come not near unto it. Come not near unto it. Distance yourself. Distance yourself. We've been talking about 6 feet. Put a mask on it. Okay? Put a mask on, because it's too powerful for you to get close to. If it gets on you and you are not qualified to absorb it, it will kill you. It will kill you. Just like coronavirus. All right. Distance yourself. Put a mask on it, because if you embrace it, if you inhale it, it will kill you. You're not designed to handle it. You're not designed for that. Now, God's grace and God's mercy, if you do get it, he may see you through it. Okay, but I'm not saying that. I'm using an analogy here, a contrast as well, as it relates to what's going on now, to what went on right then, and how that relates to us in the spiritual realm. So he says, come not near unto it, that you may know the way by which ye must go. What have I been saying this whole time? I'm saying that God has set us apart for a time of reflection. And during that time, I'm hoping that you link to a church, to some type of body of direction that is giving you what the Lord is saying for this next move, because God is getting ready to sweep through. Okay, so as he's preparing us for that, there's a certain way that he's going to do that. There's a certain order that he's going to do it. He's going to do it first. It's what he makes up in his mind for him to do. Then it's going to come through his men. Then it's going to come through observance of you to have an eye and an ear to hear, an eye to see God moving. All right. Then an obedience to that. This is what I've been saying. He says, so you might know the way to go. So you might know which way to go. We need to know which way to go now. Church has changed. It's not the way that it used to be. It has morphed into something different. We need to know, what is God doing now? It's not the same. We have to reinterpret scripture. Now, I don't mean that carte blanche, but what I'm saying is that God is up to something different. And if he's up to something different, it ain't nothing that you can do about it, but get with it. And if you don't get with it, you're going to be left behind. He says, for you have not, watch this. He says, for you have not passed this way before. You ain't been here before. You think you know. You think you had it. But that was for then. Whatever that was then. This is now. He says, you have not been this way before. You might feel like you know you got the directions and you know the way, but you ain't been this way before. I promise you that. Right? And it says in verse 5, it says, and Joshua said unto the people, watch this, along with all that, he says, I need you to do something. And this is a part of the place where we're getting and we're setting ourselves away from everything and we're reflecting. Joshua says to the people, he says, sanctify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord will do wonders among you. Sanctify yourselves, for tomorrow the Lord is going to do wonders among you. Oh boy, I've been saying this, that there is something on the way. There is something on the way. And it ain't the rapture. Rapture gonna come, but we gonna do some great exploits before the rapture come. Trust me. Because see, God is going, he ain't used us. We have not allowed him to use us. All this stuff that's going on, and you don't think that God gonna show out and all this? Oh, he getting ready to show out. Oh, he getting ready to show out. For real. Okay? And he's doing this to prepare us for that. This is for that to come. This is what we're going through right now is for that. That's going to come here in the very, very near future. All right. Now, along with that, I want to read another passage of scripture. And this is taken out of Galatians, the 5th chapter, and verses 7 and 8. It says here, ye did run well. And I want to add that almost a parenthetical into where the umbrella of what we've been talking about, social distancing. I want to parenthetically insert this part in here because this right here speaks to an issue with the church. So listen to this. He says, you did run well. There was a time when I was pleased. There was a time when you was focused. There was a time where we didn't need social distancing because you were saluting the things that you should have been saluting. And the things that should have been saluting you, they were coming for you as well. In other words, it wasn't so eerie in the earth. All right. So ye did run well. Then he goes on to say, he says, who did hinder you? Who did hinder you that ye should not obey the truth? What then got into you? I mean, you got absorbed. You got absorbed by something. All right. Whether it's those things that we talked about, alcohol, drugs, all those social issues that we deal with from a greeting standpoint that I'm saying in our challenge that we should be staying away from. Okay. Something got a hold of you. What hindered you along the way? Listen to it. He says you did run well at some point. He says, but who was it? What was it that the enemy had that you felt like you couldn't do without? Who did hinder you that you should not obey the truth? That you turned away from my ways, my statutes, my word? What was that? Then watch this. He says, this persuasion, the thing that got you and it persuaded you, because the enemy always getting in your ear, whether it be a woman, whether it be a man, whether it be hello, whatever that might be. Y'all, if y'all ain't know what I'm talking about, go back to the video on hello. Okay. What persuaded you? What got into you to say, listen, that ain't about nothing. I'm going this way. I'm going this direction now. Been going to church, doing church, all them monkeys. And part of that is right. Part of that is right. But your relationship wasn't with the monkeys. Your relationship was with God. So, in all the things that God don't like, why did you embrace that? Watch this. He says, this persuasion cometh not of him that calleth you. This persuasion comes not of him that calls you. That ain't where this came from. That was the enemy. That was the enemy. And so God wants us to get back. And let me tell you something. I know we going on with this whole change thing. We trying to bring about change through reflection and social distancing and all that. But change, behavioral change, spiritual change is tough sometimes because your flesh is fighting it. It's warring against that. Okay? But you got to look at it in this sense. If you're trying to lose 10 pounds, 20 pounds, that don't happen by sitting on the couch and wishing that you didn't have that gut or those love handles or whatever that is. That don't come like that. They don't just go away. When you look in there, you say abracadabra, or you put the band around your waist and you say, well, in the next 30 days, this right here is supposed to take this away. No, you have to incorporate a lifestyle change with diet and exercise. That's what you have to do. And in the spirit, it's the same way. A lot of us want God to come in and we're saying, God, bless us financially and all these different things. And he says, yeah, I want to do all that for you. I want that for you. But do you ever sow? Do you ever give? Do you ever tithe? What is your your economic literacy like? Do you save a dollar a week? Do you have a bank account? Do you know what stocks and bonds are? Can you count? Do you spend? Does Louis Vuitton have all your money? And LeBron James with all the latest tennis shoes and Michael Jordan and all them. I mean, that's great if you got recreation cash. You know, I'm not telling you buy what you want to buy. But what I'm saying is, if you are doing that and you can't make ends meet, then there's a problem. There's a problem. So we want God to come into our lives on every level, but we don't want to give him what he is asking from us in order to bring about that change. I'll give you another example. You go to the doctor and you tell the doctor, I'm hurting. The doctor gonna look at you like, okay, you want to say more about that? Well, I just told you I'm hurting. All right, so the doctor's there to help you, and the doctor has been to school. He's trained. He's all kind of stuff, and he wants to maybe prescribe a medication and all that. But when you go into the doctor, you stand before him and go through the examination, okay, and mum's the word. And he says, well, why are you here? What's wrong? I hurt. Hurt where? I used to tell people when I taught Sunday school years ago, and I got this from a preacher, and he says, move your hand, let me see. Bust you out and set you free. The wisdom of that was, if you want help, you got to move everything out of the way so I can see it. Whether that's physical help, that's mental help, that's financial help, whatever the help is that you need, and you know that you're going somewhere and they may be able to offer that service to you, move all those things that's in the way out of the way, so wherever you're going, they can see it and they can put something together for you. If it's a financial plan, we'll put it together. Okay, you want to increase your credit score or whatever it is. Okay, well, let me see your bills. Let me see how you spending your money. That's going to require you sharing some of your business. If you're going in and you're sleeping around with Susie and Barbie and everybody else, and you go to the doctor and you itching and carrying on, well, you got to tell the doctor that I'm itching. So the doctor can know what to give you. Ain't no sense in you going to the doctor and just say, hey, I'm itching. Itching where? Itching from what? So the doctor can help you get resolved. That's the same way where God is. He's trying to help you. That's my granddaddy James Eatman used to say. I'm trying to help you, boy. As he opened up his little sponge, little rubber thing, and give me a nickel out of that little change bag they used to have. Squeeze it and give me a nickel out. We'd be at the rock yard. I don't even remember where it's at now. It's been so. I was a little boy. He said, "I'm trying to help you, boy. Trying to help you." But I didn't recognize that it was help. And that's the issue, is that we don't recognize help when it shows up. And I'm here, I'm trying to help you. So in order to do that, we have to distance ourselves. Why? Sanctify ourselves. Why? God is getting ready to do something. There's one last thing I want to say, and I'm done for now. And I told the Lord, I said, God, I do not want to deal with them with this no more. I am done with this crap. And I ain't gonna lie to you. That's how I felt about it. I am done with it. And I just leave me alone, just let me be me. And I asked the Lord, I said, well, Lord, if I tell them this, can I cite some things that I have, prophetically said in the past, and it came to pass? Can I cite, because they ain't gonna believe me. He says, no. He says, you just say what I said. So here's what I'm gonna say. Okay? And I'm gonna say it just like this, and I'm done with it. And this is God's word. Okay? I promise you this, because I ain't trying to talk no more. And I mean that. I mean that what I'm doing right now, I promise you, God got to be in it, because I ain't trying to talk. And all the young preachers out there, and even the old ones, that they just had this insatiable appetite to get before the people, and I gotta preach, I got all that mess. When you really preaching is doing a whole lot to you. It's doing a whole lot to you. That being said, God said, tell my people that I'm getting ready to sweep through the church. Now, I want you to understand something. We've been talking about social distancing. We've been talking about consecrating yourself, sanctifying yourselves. And I didn't even know that until today. All I did was just going day by day what the Lord give me. So he's building us up. He says, okay, I need them to get rid of this, get rid of that, get rid of that, because I'm getting ready to come. But he is getting ready to separate the church. There's going to be two parts of the church. There's going to be those that God is getting ready to use in rare form. And it's going to be the others that's going to be looking in admiration and saying, man, I wish I could have got myself together. Okay. And you're going to have to go through another process. He said that I am going to start at the head. I'm going to start with preachers. And I want to say this, and with all respect, because I'm a preacher. I love y'all and I love us, but I can only tell you what God is telling me to say. If you know that you've been playing, if you know that where you stand at, God did not call you there, and a man put you there, it is of most urgent that you get and see God. You need to set up an appointment to see God right now. He says that I am getting ready to sweep through the church. And I promise you, I would not be telling you this right now if God didn't tell me. What is this going to mean on tomorrow? I have no idea. I'm just a messenger. I'm just a voice. And I'm going to leave it parked right there until God says what the next thing is to do or word to say. That's it. Now, if I wasn't clear in what I said, y'all let me know. I think that was clear. I think it was. But if you need more clarification, then, let me know. But preachers, y'all, listen to me. Get it together. If you ain't supposed to be there, move now. I don't know what this sweep is going to look like. I do know this is that there's change getting ready to happen globally. There's change coming. There's a new order that's coming in. There's an old regime that's going out. There's a new regime that's coming in. I'm talking about old regime of a lot of things, not just in the church, government, a whole lot of stuff. There's an old system that's going out. There's a new system getting ready to be ushered in. And the first going to be last. The last is going to be first. I'll say that. Okay? So we'll leave it there. I don't want to spook nobody. I hope ain't nobody spooked or nothing like that. God knows. Man, look, this is tough. This is tough. I mean, nobody want to do this. I want to do like y'all. I want to just be happy. Just be happy. I don't want to pronounce things. I don't want to say stuff. Just want to just be happy. Do like y'all do. But I'm set aside. I can't get away from this if I wanted to. Can't you see that? God has separated me from the majority so that I can talk to you about what he is saying. I went through years of this to prepare, to qualify myself to say something on God's behalf. And some of y'all jumping in the pool pit. That's another sermon. Listen, enjoy the rest of your day. Be blessed. I love you. I hope you love me. Hope you ain't mad at me, but if you are, hey, it is what it is. Tomorrow's Sunday. Hopefully I can come back. It'll be a different message tomorrow on race matters. Hopefully tomorrow I can do that. We'll see what happens. But this is going to be informative, educational, and uplifting.